Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
All day.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Don't blow it. Keep it simple. Count your money.
No, whatever it is.
Hello and welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is lucky number episode 77 with a return guest on the show, Jack Taylor.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, well,
They can't respond.
I got you by the balls now. Driving to work, getting mad because you can't talk to us.
Yeah.
Now sit back, relax, and listen to us talk to you.
Yeah, you got no choice.
Defenseless. Yeah, so I have Jack on the show every now and again whenever he's in town. For people that haven't heard the previous episodes, I grew up with Jack. We grew up down the south coast, and Jack's come up this weekend because I just finished doing my solo show last night. So it's literally the morning after the night before.
Yep.
The last episode of the podcast went out. It was recorded a couple of weeks ago, and I knew it would come out after my solo show. So at the start, I was kind of like, well, I haven't done it yet, but if you're listening to this, I just did my solo show because it comes out the Monday after, so like tomorrow for us.
Yeah.
And I had Miller on that episode, and I was like, yep, so right now I'm thinking about the solo show, but by the time this episode comes out, I won't give a fuck about it because it's like done. I'll have that post-solo show clarity.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally it's the morning after. It feels good to like actually have it under the belt now. Like it's taken so long. I've been planning it for, well, it's the first show after 5 years. So 5 years of comedy went into that show just to do 45 minutes. But I think it all went well. Jack was at my first ever gig at the same location 5 years ago from yesterday. And yeah, it was good. It was good to go full circle and actually come back.
That's right. Bring it all the way back.
I mean, compared to my first set, how do you think it went?
Better. The very first time you were freezing up a little. This time much smoother. Much smoother.
I tell you what's funny. The whole point of podcasting is to like dissect questions and like give like a long answer. Whenever I have you on the show, it's usually for like questions episodes.
Yeah.
And you always answer them like with one word. And like it's like if you never elaborated on it, it'd be like the worst type of podcasting. It'd just be I ask a question and you're like, better.
Better.
And then just try
Bringing it closer.
A little bit closer, yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, good.
That's good. Should I aim it up?
Yeah. There we go. It's all good podcasting to make sure that the mics are all
set.
Without the mics, then you're not. The audience feels less included in the conversation they already are.
That's true. You should be sitting like at the table rather than listening to the next table over.
Yeah, true. That's a good analogy for it. So yeah, I did the solo show last night. 5 years later, but I usually have you on when we've had you on the show in the past. We've developed this like random additional style of episode, which I've called Dr. Jackel and Marky Hyde, which is where we just randomly go through like questions and answers. Yeah. We'll save that for later, but just to hype what's coming on. We've got like some question and answers for people. We'll give our opinions on what we think is like the best way to do stuff. The reason I called it Dr. Jackel and Marky Hyde is because Jack usually has the level-headed, like I know what this person should do to get their like situation in the best, and I'm usually just the like I love chaos and I want to see this like fail even further.
The solution to every question: just throw hands, man. Just go for it. Go all in.
The best one was when on our previous episode, when it was just like I'm not too sure whether I should continue dating this person. They're clearly cheating on me.
Oh yeah.
And you're all like, no, you need to like have a conversation and work out what's right for you and be open and honest and shit. And I'm like, get a threesome.
And it's like, if you are breaking up with them, make sure you bring a friend, like, because they might be violent. You never know. I remember that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I've definitely, well, like I feel like a lot of my advice is from previous experiences, but there's a lot of people that haven't had shitty experiences, so it's hard to like gain from that. So it's like, it's actually better to like learn from someone else's shitty experience, and then like you don't have to. But certain situations, it's like you can only learn that by experiencing it. Like the amount of times someone will tell you, like if you're in a shit relationship, oh, don't do that or whatever. Like that person's really bad for you or whatever. And you're like, yeah, but I want to continue doing this. It's like, I can't tell you, but you're going to realize that same person usually will come up to you like years later and be like, hey, you were right. That was very bad.
Yeah, you don't say.
So what have you been up to these days? What's the life of Jack?
Well, I finally got a job. Yeah, job. Woo!
That's good, man. I don't think we can talk about actual establishment names and shit. I don't want to like give too much detail.
True. Basically retail.
Yeah. That's good though, man. How do you find like, because I worked in retail for like from like when I was 14 until I was like 20. Various spots. How do you find the routine? How's your faith in humanity?
It has its ups and downs. I think the most important part I find, the thing that gets me through every day is just trying to maintain a positive attitude. Because if you think positively, then, you know, you put a nice filter over things. You know, bad things can seem slightly better. If you think negatively, bad things seem really bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so...
It's about having the right filter. How you receive and process information.
Hashtag no filter. No.
Just pure neutral. Just like, I care not one way or another.
No, literally, like... No, it's negative, actually, if I could be honest with you. Probably, like, if I look at something... For example, my instant response was like, how's your faith in humanity? So, like, already I'm like, I bet you it's shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
Like, it's good podcasting to talk about how shit your faith in humanity is. Like, no one wants to hear about sunshines and fucking rainbows, you know? Like, people aren't going to be like, oh, yeah, no, like... And also, if you're just like, no, faith in humanity, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Everyone listening is just going to be like, nah.
It's not my fault the people who listen to podcasts are depressed. Yeah. Everyone between the ages of 30 and 40 is depressed. Like, it's just how it is.
Yeah, true. I also think that, to be fair, I feel like podcasts are like also like some of them are tapping into an older market as well. Like, yeah, I think that it's becoming the new radio. Like, it's...
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
My grandmother listens to podcasts.
Yeah.
Not this one, but some others.
Yet.
Others. Yet. I don't know if it'd be quite her speed, to be honest.
Hi, Jack's grandma.
She's not listening.
Yet.
Just sling her a message like, watch this.
Yeah. I'm not saying what you should listen to, but you should search in the podcast for Jack Taylor and see if there's anything on there. It's the equivalent of Googling yourself. See if someone with the same name like comes up in a podcast.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. I occasionally, like, if I say that I book a comedian for a gig or something, I'll like not only Google them, like if someone reaches out to book a gig, but I feel like if you Google someone, you only really, it's sometimes limited the information you get about them.
Yeah, for sure. It's usually just surface level.
Yeah, so what I will sometimes do if I have the time will be like, I'll search it in the podcasting app and find like if they have a podcast.
Yeah.
And if they've guested on a podcast and listened to like that, an episode or two of that, especially if I'm going to have them on as a guest on my podcast, I'll like see what they've done. Like I had the guy that did the artwork for Goosebumps, Tim Jacobus, on my podcast during the lockdowns.
Ooh, nice.
And
he was in Australia.
He wasn't. I did it via video call to New
That
Jersey.
makes even more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
I did it to New Jersey, and I listened to like 5 or 6 podcasts that he'd been on previously, and basically ruled out any questions that I thought
We're already done.
were
Smart.
already done.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah, and we got like a bunch of cool context. What's it called?
Content?
Content.
There we go. Yeah.
Contextual content. And I also found a website that was like 10 things you didn't know about Tim Jacobus, and I like fact checked them. I'm like, is this actually true? And he's like, nah.
No, not even
So
close.
like, it's just like I had the actual guy that this website was talking about to be like, nah. Like, one of the things was like, the reason he always puts Converse All-Stars in all of his like drawings is because he used to work at the Converse factory, and he was just like, I never worked at the Converse factory. And I was just like, oh, cool, that's like a good fact check. Yeah. But also I was able to say, like, so why is it that you also always use the All-Stars in all of your drawings?
Yeah.
He literally said it was because they were the coolest shoes when he was a kid, so he used to just buy them. And his mum always hated him wearing them because they were like the cheap ones, like they're not like good for you and shit, like the fallen arches and all that crap. Back in the day, they were just the standard not supportive shoe, but they were cool.
Yeah, they're still cool now, and now they're expensive.
Yeah.
Still no support, but they cost money.
You have to pay for that no support.
That's right. You want some shitty ass shoes, you got to pay for it.
I actually got a blacked out pair of leather Converses, so not the cloth, but they're all just like leather, and all the logos and shit are all black, the laces, everything.
Nice.
I use them for bar shoes, like when I'm working at the bar, because they're blacked out, so they go with everything, and also they're like fucking leather, so they're not about to like fall apart as quickly as the others. Yeah. I always found with the Converses, they always go when you like crouch down, the little bit flares on the sides and the glue comes undone, like the whole like the sole and the fucking front like completely opens up.
Split. Yeah.
You're pretty fucking hard on your shoes. What's your favorite? What's your most durable pair of shoes? Where'd you go to?
Shit, I've been through a lot of shoes. For a while there, I was only ever wore hiker shoes because they lasted a while.
Yeah, out of all the cheap ones, they were the best.
Yeah, just some cheap hikers that lasted.
The one with the little steel toe, like fucking tag on the top, like it had to tell you it had the steel. Like the last thing you want to do is advertise to everyone that you're wearing a steel toe. Remember in high school, people would just come up and like fucking tread on your toe just to be like, steel toe, eh?
Yeah.
People just do that shit. They're like, steel toe. I'm just going to jump on it.
And then see if they work, you know?
It's a bad time to not be wearing those shoes and have like an ingrown toenail or some shit.
Ooh, yeah.
Some random just stomps on your shit. I'm going to get this video and just overlay it here.
Overlay.
It's going to be right here. I'm going to play it right here. Just put it
Everyone,
over the
look
top.
at it. It's happening.
This is a video of Jack buying the exact same pair of shoes. So the backstory to the video. We go into Kmart. Jack's wearing the same pair of shoes that he sees on the shelf. The ones he's wearing is worn out. The ones on the shelf are exactly the same, but brand new.
Yes.
Self-service checkout had just been invented at Kmart.
More like implemented. I'm sure it was around somewhere else.
No, it was a trial.
It was trial.
We were the trial. The video is just going to be on a loop, so taking too long. It's like a 3-second video. Puts the shoes on from the shelf, takes the tag off them, puts the tag on the old shoes, goes up, scans the tag, puts the old shoes in the bagging area, pays for it, then puts the tag into the old shoes and drops them in the bin and walks off like fucking Mission Impossible.
Done.
That's like his version of like 007. Like, Actually, I'm going to play the video now with the 007 theme tune over the top of it. Actually, it might be better if you just hum it like you just did because I don't want to get copyright infringement.
That's true. I don't remember how the rest of it goes. I'm drawing a blank.
Don't worry, I think that's longer than the video anyway. Yeah, we've got enough.
We got enough.
But yeah, that's pretty funny. And then I think it was around that. It was either the reason that the shoes needed replacing, or it was the lucky that we replaced them. But it was either that night or the night before we walked like back to the place I was staying at from where the gig was, which was like 12 kilometers.
Yeah, you said it wouldn't take long. It took long, man. It was a long friggin' walk.
It's totally worth buying the band merch and spending my taxi money. Just walk back. Like, no, it wasn't 12. It was about 4Ks. But like it was at the end of the night.
It was late at night, man. We were tired.
Yeah, 12Ks is a big ask. Doing a fucking walk back that far, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you like the drink cozy?
Because I don't know.
I
have my reasons.
Yeah,
I have my reasons. Don't question me.
I don't know.
Well, because if I do this right, I'm gonna do one of these ones.
Yep, Jack's
Okay.
putting the drink into the cozy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Describe it. Excellent. Well, for the YouTube peoples, it looks like I'm drinking like a whiskey and Coke.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my parents are going to watch this, and I just want them to think I'm a good boy, okay? Leave me alone. I have a particular reputation, and I plan to uphold it.
Yeah.
And, day drinking is not part of that reputation.
Okay. Well, is this the part where I tell them that I tell you that I put whiskey in it now, or what?
No, that's fine. as long as they don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't tell anyone, you fucking narcs. No, I like that. You have a you have a good what's it called? You're very honest. I think it gets you into more trouble than
Well, I just try to be genuine as possible.
yeah. Like I remember, this is Jack's level of genuine. You ready to hear it, listeners? This is how much of a good guy Jack is. You'll be able to hear it too, Jack.
Yeah, I'm curious. What are we talking about?
We go. Speaking of Woolworths checkouts, I'll check out. I don't care about naming names as long as it's not mentioning current workplaces.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So we go to Woolworths. Before I lived with Dave, I lived with Jack years ago for like 18 months or something.
Yeah.
We go to Woolworths to do a shop, and I run my. Since I'm getting old, dude, I just lifted my hand and my shoulder cracked. The fuck, they're not. It's not even the same joint I moved.
We're almost done with our 20s.
Yeah.
30s are coming.
Yeah, fuck. But yeah, anyway, so I scanned my shit. I didn't bring a bag, right? Because I'm like 21 and I don't care about
The
future planning.
Yeah.
And there's a random bag already in the checkout area, like in the bagging area. There's just like someone's left like a new bag there. They've like must have put it, the person before me or someone before I got there has put in a bag down and not used it and just left it in the bagging area. So instead of like getting that bag and scanning it and then putting it down and putting my groceries in it, I just scan my groceries and start putting it into the bag. And you're like, you didn't scan the bag. And I was like, yeah, it was already in the bagging area. And you're like, yeah, but that would be stealing. And I'm like, I mean, if you want to split hairs. So what I do, just because I've got Jack lurking over my shoulder, which is probably more intimidating than any other security guard that was there. 68-year-old dude like from Wilson's just standing there like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Even the security guard would have been like, yeah, 15 cents. I'm getting paid more by the company to tell you not to do it. It's actually going to cost less money for me to let you steal that. Imagine if he was like tied up trying to get me to pay for the 15-cent bag where someone just walks out with like a whole trolley of groceries.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to like do the right thing, I scan one of the other bags and then keep like doing it so it adds the money on there. Checked out and go outside and got mugged by a homeless dude. It was see, what goes around comes around. No, not really. I just but I do like to think though that sometimes, like, are you a believer in like what you put out sort of comes back to you?
Yeah.
I feel like
Definitely.
maybe doing that it's fucking 15 cents, but I feel like morally doing the right thing may have helped me down the track, like by being a better person. Fuck it, spending that 15 cents just gave me fucking 10 minutes of content, bro.
Boom, done. Yes. See, it comes around eventually.
It was like a pre-purchase. It was like a pay it forward for content when I have a podcast one day.
Yeah, that's right. It was the universe saying, yeah, no. Do it. Get the content.
Do it.
Do it.
What about yourself, man? Have you ever done anything that like you went out of your way to help someone and it helped you in the future that you didn't, that you can remember?
No.
You're just such a good person. You don't know when you're helping someone. Like, because it happens so much.
No, like I do little things for people when I can, like here and there, just about every other day. But you never really expect it to go for. I think that's the difference between being nice and being kind.
You
Nice
and me.
people
That's the difference between you and me.
Nice guys tend to expect something in return. Kind just does it for the good vibes.
Vibes don't pay rent.
Nah, they help me sleep at night. I sleep like a baby.
Wake up at 3 o'clock because you shit yourself.
Exactly.
That's a Carl Barron joke. I stole that. Yeah.
Carl Barron is a funny lad.
Yeah. I tried to get him to perform at the Basement.
Oh, really?
No fucking way. Like, he's like...
No, he does shows of thousands of people.
Yeah, he does like
ain't giving-
arenas and shit. I tried to like promote it as like, yeah, but maybe people might want to spend $500 to have an evening with Carl Barron instead of like a show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
maybe we could do like a small show, super high ticket price, and like only a limited amount of people.
Oh, why wouldn't you do that?
Maybe.
He wasn't interested.
You never speak to them. You speak to their tour manager, and their tour manager just goes, "Nah, we'll just book Canberra Theatre and make thousands of dollars instead. Thanks for your time."
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
To be fair, usually the comedian is the one that wants to do the gig. It's the tour manager that's like, yeah, this isn't a financially viable option, and that's why they hire tour managers. Because if it was up to most comedians, they would do fucking most gigs just because they love doing it.
Yeah.
Comedy is a fucking addiction.
Yeah.
But out of all the things that you can be addicted to, I think it's one of the better ones. Like it has all the traits of an addiction. For example, I've driven to Wagga to do a gig that had no guarantee of paying, just to do 10 minutes, paid for a hotel for the night, came back, and had a great fucking time. That's the definition of like being addicted to someone, right? Something. Yeah. Or like, I've gone to Sydney to do a gig, which had a guarantee to be paid, but the guarantee was far less than... So, like, it was basically the amount I was getting paid would have only pretty much covered the toll roads in Sydney for the gig. And I had to come back the same night. But luckily, David came with me. So, you know what? It's a good trip when you can drive to Sydney from Canberra and back and not put on music once and just be talking the whole time and still have enough conversation.
That's an amazing trip.
Yeah.
I love having a trip with an interesting conversation partner. Way better than traveling by yourself.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, sometimes there is times, like, I listen to, like, a 5-part series on a whole like true crime podcast, and it was on this. It was on that Dirty John, the guy that like nearly killed his missus, and basically back to what we were saying before, shit relationship. Family was like, you shouldn't be dating this guy. He's a piece of shit. And she was like, but I'm in love. It took 5 episodes to tell that story. And I listened to that like when I went for a trip out west once. And that was fine because it was just by myself. And I listened to about 3.5 hours worth of podcasting. So that was fine because I had like interviews and all this shit, which was like kind of well produced. But yeah, conversations are good. You can either create the conversations or listen to them, I guess, if you travel.
Yeah.
Or music. Music's always cool.
Yeah, music's good.
What you go to these days? I know when we were younger, we used to listen to a lot of like, we used to listen to like,
Love Australian hip hop.
Yeah.
We used to,
Yeah.
Still these days, not as much.
Hilltop Hoods was like pretty much the go-to.
The Hoods, yeah. Draft, Bliss and SO, all those guys.
Yeah.
I listen to all sorts. My playlist is varied and randomized.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous, just jumps all over the place. Recently got into, well, not recently, but like last couple of years I've gotten into electro swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. And there's a couple of different artists that are big in electro swing. Caravan Palace has some really good hits. You've got no idea what I'm talking about, but
Caravan Palace to me sounds like Blue Gum's Caravan. Welcome to Caravan Palace.
No, it's good. Just some good music. The like very like dancey music. I like something you can move to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that you've always liked the more like upbeat sort of shit.
Yeah. More upbeat than. Something lifts me out of the funk, not to drive me into it, you know?
I like how you also understand my style of music and the way I work.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I had my laptop once, I left it on the coffee table, and I'm like, I'm going to take a piss, I'll be back. And I come back and you're on the laptop. I'm like, how'd you get into it? And you're like, well, the password hint was black metal, so I typed in Cradle of Filth, and it worked. Fuck. The best part about that is Cradle of Filth isn't black metal, so I thought that like it would throw people off. But to someone that doesn't know much metal, like heavy metal, that like is the perfect answer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. The only like differences between metals that I know of really is like Doom has more orchestral sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And industrial.
Slower.
Yeah, and industrial's got a bit more techno. That's the only ones I know.
Rammstein.
Damn, they were good.
I tell you what's cool though, like years later, so this is in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
After all my years of loving metal and all that sort of shit, Cradle of Filth played at the Basement.
What? Nice.
Yeah, and I met Danny Filth, like the singer.
Yeah.
I was so nervous, I nearly called him Mr. Filth. Like,
You should have.
Trying to be respectful.
So, Mr. Filth, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. It's an honor.
The Prince of Darkness is here.
Please sign my arm, and I'm going to go get it tattooed.
Yeah, well, that actually happened. I was interviewing Matt Skitch, who's a drummer from a band called Damage. He came to the Basement. Massive, influential piece of Australian metal history is Matt Skitz, and we did an interview for Canberra Metalheads, and some dude comes up and goes, "Hey, can you sign my arm?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he was like, "Literally, I'm getting this tattooed tomorrow."
Fair enough.
Fucking no shit. I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And Matt Skitch was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Can you sign my arm and draw a skull and crossbones?" That's right. And he did it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this tattooed tomorrow." He's like, "Do you want me to draw a better skull and crossbones?" So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I met Danny Filth, and the fucking awkwardest part about it is I didn't have anything to sign. Like, I wanted to get something signed.
Oh, no.
And the person I was with at the time, one of my mates at the time, he used to carry a satanic Bible with him in his like gig jacket.
Fair enough.
And I was like, can you give me your fucking Satan book? I need to get something signed, and that would be something that would be cool to get signed. He's like, no, I haven't got it, but I've got my Pokemon card. It's a Charizard. Can you sign that? It's like his lucky Charizard card he kept in the back of his wallet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, normally where the condoms go if you get laid.
Nah, Pokemon. It's way more important.
Yeah. I take him that. I'm just like, hey, I'm a massive fan. Danny, I'm just wondering if I could get a photo with you. Get a photo. I'm like, also, I don't want to push it, but can you sign my friend's Pokemon card? And he was just like, yeah, sure. He's like Cockney English. Like his normal accent is Cockney English. When he's singing, you can't really pick up on it. But yeah, his literal voice is, he's just like, all right, what's his name? He gets the card. I'm like, his name's Ben. And he's like, all right, okay, dear. And then he writes B-E. He goes to do an A. He's like, he's done like he's gone to put like the line across the center of the capital A.
Yeah.
And he just goes, hang on, what's his name? I'm like, it's Ben. And he's like, oh, I thought you said his name was Bean. And I was like, that's a weird fucking name, isn't it? And he just turned it into an N and goes, there you go. And I was just like, I come back and I'm just like, you've been dubbed Bean by the Prince of Darkness. That's your new name now. So, yeah, because my mate was also from England.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just call him Mr. Bean after that. Oh, fuck. Yeah, but anyway. It's just so funny because when he's on stage and he's all like high, like vocals, all this crazy singing, orchestral shit, and then off stage he's just like, what's his name? Yeah, like, fuck. I just picture him like having not that voice, but it's also cool, you know, like it's a bit like Adele, like she's like got a Cockney fucking voice.
You would not picture her voice when you hear her sing.
Yeah. She should just sing when she talks so it doesn't sound
It sounds so weird.
No, I like that accent. Sometimes it annoys if too much if I hear certain accents too much. But yeah, I hear his voice on and off. It's just good for a meme. But I heard someone talking about how funny would it be if when Adele lost weight, if her voice changed as well. Like she could only sing like big vocals when she was big. So like she comes out after losing all the weight, stands on stage and goes, hello from the other side. Oh fuck, I've done fuck me voice, haven't I? Hello, it's me again. Oh, fuck. So this is an advice episode.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're going to start with some advice.
We're getting there 20 minutes in.
Yep, this is the thing. It's a 45-minute episode and you stuck around, so you get rewarded. I looked at the recorder, not the people.
Hello, people. Hello.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I chose the easiest route.
Okay. Yeah,
Top rated.
Top rate. Ah, nice.
Okay. So, would you support a mandatory requirement age of 75 of everyone that's in... This is aimed at the US, but let's just say, like, any, like, Supreme Court or Senate or anything. So, basically high, like... decision makers have to retire at 75. Would you support something like that? What? Why?
Okay, I'll go straight to biology, right? The brain gets less plastic, or whatever the hell it's called, as you get older. By the time you're 75, you're nowhere near as sharp as you used to be. And by the time you're 75, you've got certain ideas on how things are and how it work and whatnot. So, like, this is Supreme Court or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're going to be set in your ways at 75. you won't be open to new, fresh ideas or the change in geopolitical climate or whatever the hell's going on. Normal political climate, social climate. How much has social climate changed in 70 years? Just think about that. You don't want some dude from the 50s passing laws or whatever, being up there, passing judgment on people, you know, when he's still thinking like segregation's a thing, you know?
True.
Yeah, no one should be up there at those ages. Like, your brain ain't sharp enough.
Yeah.
And you're too set in your ways.
True.
You need a certain amount of fluidity and empathy as well. The older you get, like, I find some people...
I'm even less empathetic than I was 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the older you get, and the more, especially in those sorts of environments where you're constantly forced to pass judgment on people, or you see the worst in humanity every day, you're going to lose a lot of compassion. Like, by the time you're 75... you've been through everything. You're sick of it. You're like, oh, this happened to you? Guess what? I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
I've seen this same case 1,000 times.
Yep.
At the beginning, you got light sentences. Now, maximum. Fuck off.
Yeah. I just picture it to be like, nah, dude, I'm going to have to disagree. I reckon they should have the current oldest person in the country judges.
Really?
Yeah.
Most of them have dementia.
Yeah, dude. It's going to get wild.
It's going to get wild.
Imagine just like whoever's the current oldest person just does all the decision making, and when they die, it moves down. Like a 120-year-old person with dementia being like, we need to change everything.
120-year-old, you're like, they're coming for my lawn.
That's true. Like like part of dementia is like hectic paranoia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Actually, I was just trying to spice it up a bit.
Yeah. No, my answer was too normal.
No, it's wild. That's why you're Dr. Jackel.
Well, I just reckon retire, man. I think you should probably be.
Also,
65,
why would you want
get out
to
of
work?
there.
Why would you want to work if you could, like, if those dudes get, like, those people get decent
Paid
money?
plenty, yeah.
Surely they're just being greedy if they're still doing it after 75.
Yeah. Or they just don't know what else to do with their lives.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
This one's a little bit less
Easily
structured.
answered. Okay. That's true.
I'm going to only allow you to give one answer.
Oh, come on, man. I'm a man who likes to cover all bases.
What are some harmless ways to fuck with people?
Define harmless. Because are we talking about emotional, mental harm? Like, if I'm fucking with them, it's gonna dig deep.
Okay. Tell me a no physical harm way to fuck with people.
Depends on how much you hate them. Okay, like it's not a good thing that you can do, but most people have. Like, it's very easy to find or at least create insecurities in people. Just very little things. Like, they might have certain habits. Once you make them aware of it, it starts to fuck with them.
Oh, that's good.
Even
Like
things,
any comedian that records their set and watches it back and goes, I didn't realize I do that.
Yeah, like, for sure. Last night I know some things I'm not going to say, man. I don't want to fuck with you. What I could.
That fucks with me more. Did you just want to give an example by doing it?
The whole night, man.
The hand.
Your palms are sweaty. You were so fucking nervous the whole night. Every night, 5 minutes, you're like, fuck. Just wiping the palms.
Yeah, my knees weak, arms were heavy, dude.
Yeah, palms are sweaty. No, that makes sense. Yeah, but there are...
It's because I don't like sticky. You know what I
That's
mean?
fair.
Wet. I just like to be able to, if I need to grab something, I like to know I've got grip.
That's true.
At any point in time.
Yeah. Stand on the stage, we're ready to smack a bitch.
Come here, fucking Will Smith, you cunt. I'm not going to just fucking, like, not do anything, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking as if I wouldn't slap Will Smith back.
I don't know why Kevin decided not to do nothing.
Dude, do you know why he decided not to do anything? He still wanted to get paid for the gig.
Yeah, true.
And you know what, also? His career blew the fuck up after that. Like, he got paid eventually from other shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he fucking smashed it. Like, he was already a big comedian, but, like, through the roof after that. Like, yeah.
Wait, did I say Kevin? No, I meant Chris.
Chris,
Rock.
I mean, yeah, Chris Rock. Yeah.
I was thinking Kevin Hart for some reason. That's not the guy.
Maybe it's just because you know Kevin Hart wouldn't have fought back too.
Yeah, that's true.
You just in your mind, you're like a list of people that wouldn't have actually fought back.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, he wouldn't have done that if it was The Rock, not Chris Rock."
100%.
Yeah.
Will Smith looks like the dude who'd only fight someone smaller than him.
Yeah. Which rules out his wife because she's fucking bigger than him. Somehow. I don't know how. She's got that... What's that Angelina Jolie character? The Magnificent?
Maleficent?
Yeah, there we go.
Maleficent.
Yeah, she's got that vibe about her.
Yeah.
Evil overlord.
Yeah.
Tyrant bitch. Fuck, now he's gonna slap me, dude. See a fucking limo pull up out the front.
Comes in, knocks on the door.
Okay, so
Okay.
here's the top answer to that question on the forum that we're using.
Okay.
Fucking awesome. I can't even think of something better than this. This has got my support behind this answer.
Yep.
So, one dude said that there was a tomato sauce bottle in their house that he would just constantly, just before it ran out, he would like put a little bit more in there. And his wife just thought that like for years they never used all the tomato sauce. So he had like a spare bottle and just kept topping it up just a little, just before it would run out, he'd put like a little bit more in it for like literally years. And she was like, why the fuck hasn't this ran out yet?
Why? Fair enough. That's a great way to mess with someone.
Apparently the follow-up from it was when he told her eventually, she hit him with the sauce bottle. It's the ultimate thing. Like, if you're mad at someone with something, you hit them with the thing that's caused the anger.
Yes, that's definitely the correct.
That's why I didn't keep topping up the waffle iron. I don't know why that makes any sense. How do you top up a waffle iron?
No idea.
It's a callback from a Jerry Seinfeld bit. So basically, in one of the episodes of Seinfeld, they're talking about, like, if you're going around to make up with like your girlfriend after having an argument, whatever you bring her as a gift, be prepared for her to throw it at you. So he goes around with flowers and gives it to her, and he's like, hey, I'm really sorry, and then they like make up, and then something happens and she like flips on him and goes, get out, and as he's about to walk out, she throws the flowers at him.
Yeah.
And he like walks out the door, and then he sticks his head back in. He's just like, and that's why he didn't get a waffle iron.
Yeah, nothing heavy. Flowers and teddy bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little bit of chocolate.
Yeah, like just cop the corner of a block of chocolate to the face. Like, somehow the only time
A little bit, not a big one.
you just get like a fucking, you get something with a good crumple zone, like a fucking Kinder Surprise or something. Crumple zone. Don't you hate it when you go into the shops, you look at the Easter eggs, and there's only like one left, and it's fucking like had its face punched in.
Sometimes they're so easy to break. I break them all the time because
You, like,
I'm
pick
a
'em up.
fat lad.
Yeah.
You pick it up, and then the thumb just goes straight through.
But if you ever opened up an Easter egg and realised that in some parts it's thicker than others, like most of the time it's because you've put your thumb right where there was like a defect, just by a chance.
Yeah, and
yeah.
just boop.
It just reminds me of like what it'd be like in God of War when Kratos grabs that guy's head and pushes his eyes in.
Ouch.
He just did that with an Easter egg.
It work for him.
Just a giant Humpty Dumpty shaped egg, and you just push the eyes in like, I'm Kratos. The god of war has fallen from grace and now is just killing Humpty Dumpty Easter eggs. All right, so we chose 3.
Well, that was 2.
So here's the last one.
Okay.
Of mine.
Okay.
This is a good conversation piece. What is the harsh reality that everyone needs to hear?
Oh, that's tough. You're not capable of everything.
Oh, shit.
When you're a kid, your parents always tell you, well, my parents always told me, some parents told me, like,
Other
you can do
parents
anything.
told you.
Yeah, you can do anything. You could be a doctor, astronaut, whatever. They always tell you you're capable of these things. They never tell you, if you want these things, be prepared to work fucking hard.
Yep.
I think that's a big difference between Western and Eastern culture. I think Western culture, the parents are like, you can be anything you want to be. I believe in you, son. Eastern culture is like, if you want to do this, prepared to be the best, to work harder than anyone else. And I think a lot of people,
Maybe somewhere between those two is where we need to be.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think a lot of people, they have this expectation that, you know, them the hero of their own story. You're not. None of us are the hero of any stories.
Yeah.
We're all plebs.
Yeah.
If you want to rise above, you got to work harder than everyone else. Either that or have rich parents. One of the two.
Yeah. Well, looks like we only have one option.
Yeah, you got to work hard. Yes, there's only like 3 ways to get rich. Take it from people less fortunate than you. Be born into it, or work harder than anyone else. Those are your options.
And if you're born into it, your parents did one or 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you were born into it, then somewhere up the line, someone else did one of the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of goes into mine, which is something I need to tell myself, because it's easy to get a mad ego when you do comedy and like think people like want to do stuff and like support.
Yeah.
No one actually gives a fuck. It's a harsh reality, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, people still support, they still do what they can do. Like, you drove up from the fucking coast with like less than a week's notice, which is...
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But generally, no one actually gives a fuck. Like, the problem is, like, the harsh reality is that the amount I care about things myself, no one's ever going to care about it as much as what I care about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can't be like offended if someone doesn't give a fuck as much as I give a fuck about myself, because that's never going to happen. No one's ever going to care about anything I do more than me, which is, you know, narcissistic. But it's just coming to terms with the fact that that is what I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you care about something, you're always going to care about it more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Especially like in relation to yourself, like, you know, sure. You're meant to put yourself first. Not like stomp on other people to get your way to be first.
Yeah.
But you gotta have yourself up there on the list of priorities, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think that you're saying like stomp on other people to get what you want. Sometimes I feel like Terminators are autistic because they just like don't care about the other parts of people's feelings and shit. They just have like they're set on the fucking. So I just finished the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
And in one of the episodes, John's there with the female Terminator, female-bodied Terminator.
Yes.
And he's going in to see a psych. and the Terminator's waiting in the waiting room, just sitting there like all still and shit, waiting for John to like walk out, and she's like watching him to make sure that he's okay, like doesn't let him leave the line of sight.
Right.
So John walks out of the fucking the psych room. Sarah walks in to pick him up, and he's like, "Can you come in here for a minute?" And she comes in, and the doc's like, the psych's just like, "I want to see John again because I feel like he's got some like PTSD or some shit."
Yeah.
Also, I think your daughter's autistic. So like the psych diagnoses the Terminator with autism. It's fucking hilarious because I'm like, that's actually put it into perspective. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about how like people in the spectrum, like neurodiverse people, and like Terminators act, it's pretty much fucking the same, right? Like people that are just hell set on like a mission. Like,
Yeah.
see, I envy that because I have like ADHD, which means I can't fucking focus on one thing for too long. Whereas like people that have like hyper focus can just like. The weird thing is I can hyper focus on things that retain my attention, but usually within that one broader topic, there's a whole bunch of little things in there that like keep my attention span.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I like focus on comedy as a broader topic, but there's so many things within the umbrella of comedy that like retain my attention that I can bounce off. Whereas if someone just said like focus on this one thing, like for example, review this document and just focus on that, I'm like, after like 10 minutes, I'm like, I need to do something else for a second and come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, no one gives a fuck is basically mine.
No one gives a fuck, and you're not the center of the world.
Yeah, which like ties into pretty much what you said about like the same thing, but only it's career focused, like money focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas yours is like monetary, mine is attention, but with the same premise.
Yeah. Basically, you're not as special as you think you are.
All right. Now it's for some situations where we determine whether someone is the asshole.
Yay. I'm leaning back now. I've moved to the mic. I have
Good.
that power. Ooh. Does that mean I'm getting more comfortable with this scenario?
Yeah, I think
That I can start messing with the mic?
yeah, you're just like, oh, fucking
Yeah, I fucked it all up there.
people are like, why does he sound further away?
No, it's closer. I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
In general. Yeah, I'm sure.
You go from like left to right and change from someone's earphones. I'll mix it different in that part. All right.
Okay. Here we go. This is a... Are we allowed to say the name of the place we're getting it from?
Yeah.
Perfect. Welcome to Reddit, everyone. That's right. We're scraping the barrel. Welcome to r/am I the a-hole? Okay, so here's the scenario. Am I the a-hole for encouraging good grammar for my wife? Please excuse grammar spelling mistakes as I typed this on my phone. That'd be pretty ironic. Okay.
Already creating loopholes for himself.
Exactly. This guy's an a-hole. Okay, here we go. Already.
All right, next one.
So, to preface, I grew up in a southern state and so was the constant butt of education and redneck jokes. My wife had the same upbringing. I love her very much, but can feel our paths diverging. Let me explain how. We like to consider ourselves as more educated than other members of the home state. We both have high-paying jobs at the same company, same department. Think big tech companies and a nice house. We have risen above what maybe would have been our natural station. A good job at my hometown was considered held by the cemetery caretaker, for example. So we've risen far. Okay, so the guy's got a classist issue, but continuing. Dude, cemetery caretakers get paid bunch. What's this guy's issue? Okay, so we've made friends with co-workers in our new state who do not share our redneck accents. I've been able to mask my accent and use proper grammar most of the time. I tell our new friends that we are from California and moved for the job. My wife, however, has not had as much success with hiding her accent. She constantly says good instead of well, It has even started to grate my ears whenever I hear her say it. She also says y'all and howdy decently often. She has even let out a darn tootin' when in a conversation with our VP at dinner the other night, and I almost died. She laughed like a braying mule, but all the others at the table only gave nervous chuckles and averted their eyes from meeting mine. The VP didn't make any more jokes after that, and the rest of the dinner was very awkward. I feel like he may have been reading too much into it. The other night,
Continue reading into it, Jack.
The other night, I read her diary when she was in the restroom with a touch of food poisoning. I found her Reddit account information. I knew I shouldn't be the one to correct her on her grammar, as I don't want the driver wedged between us. Instead, I created several throwaway accounts and follow her profile to read her comments. On comments about bad grammar, I say things like, wow, you must have been born in insert our home state because your English is about as bad as your state's education system. And there are other comments like, you won't get too far sounding like a hick. God damn, this dude sucks. She has been distraught by these comments. I'm questioning whether or not I've done the right thing. But to quote Macbeth, I feel so far stepped in blood that to go back could be harder than going forward, or something like that. So I doubled down and made 8 more fake profiles. Keeping up with her comments has negatively affected both hers and mine own effectiveness at work because she is constantly in a bad mood and I am constantly distracted by refreshing Reddit for new comments. However, her grammar has marginally improved. I've noticed my co-workers do not seem to stand in groups of 3 or 4 at the water cooler and point at her anymore in between sips of coffee. So while my plan seems to have worked to some extent, I feel like I have done something terrible. Should I tell her the truth of the matter, or should I increase the fake profiles to 16? I'm running out of additional ideas for new email addresses. I guess most importantly, am I the a-hole? Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're the fucking a-hole. Okay. What the hell, man?
All right, so first of all, I'm not going to diagnose him with being an asshole. I'm going to diagnose him with severe autism. Because do you know why? There's literally one fucking tell in that whole thing that made me realize that he works. He's like, should I increase it to 16 from 8? He had to increase it by a multiple.
Oh yeah, good point.
So he's either works in IT and does 8, 16, 32, 64 bit incrementations, or he has to double it, from what it previously was, which was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the other thing is, he doesn't like conflict. So instead of just dealing with the conflict, he's created more conflict potentially.
Yeah.
By doing this workaround way. So instead of just dealing with the conflict of being first of all, the initial conflict is the conflict of saying to the people, we're from Wyoming or wherever the fuck.
Yeah, he's claiming he's from California instead.
So that's already a lie.
Yeah, he's built his whole reputation on lies to begin with.
Shaky foundation.
Yeah.
Second of all, I just held up 1 instead. So I was like, second of all,
1.
Where's my fucking contingency in this podcast? What's it called? No. What's it called where it's consistent? Consistency.
No.
Correct that grammar mistake, you cunt. Anyway, sorry, Jack's grammar. I didn't mean to drop the C-bomb. She's tuned out by now.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
Hopefully, as soon as I start swearing, she was out.
Yeah. I think that's a safe bet. But anyway, so initially built on lies. Yep. Don't do that. What's wrong with just being I'm the southern dude that made money and now I'm here? That's a serious issue. If you can't just admit that.
Yeah. Be proud of who you are, people. Even if you are a weirdo, fucking own it.
Yeah.
The most interesting people are the ones with the confidence to own their weirdness. You know what I mean? Those people who are like, yeah, I'm different and I'm okay with it. Not this, oh no, sneak around the back. Oh, I'm from California. My grammar's good.
Yeah. And also he's trying to make his missus like
Feel bad.
either live into his lie. Like, does she even know that, like, this whole thing... Like, obviously she doesn't know the full story because obviously she's not aware of how much it's affecting him. Yeah. Also, the dumb cunt's writing about it on Reddit.
Yeah, true.
Like,
and she's on it.
I feel like Am I the Arsehole is a popular Reddit thread to follow.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
And if that's in the top tiers of it...
Yeah.
Surely she will read about her own situation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was probably pretty dumb of him.
There's enough information in there to, like, triangulate whether that would be you or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you match the description of that wife, you'd be able to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Also, if you're getting comments on all your shit saying, like, oh, you, like, must not be educated, blah, 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 you're like, oh, this is me. Like, that's my partner that's written all that shit. Yeah, definitely the arsehole.
Yeah. What interests me about it is he's like, he says they're at a dinner function and she laughed and it made the whole thing awkward. No, you know what made it awkward is you sitting there eyeing off every member of the party going, oh, I'm so sorry, my wife's such a weirdo.
Yeah.
That's what fucks up the thing. He's misreading the situation.
Yeah, I think...
And thinking that everyone's standing around the water cooler looking over at her. It's like, no one's got time for that shit, man.
It goes back to what we were saying before. You're not the center of your fucking universe.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Okay. I don't think I picked out 3. I might only have 2.
That's good.
We're running out of time anyway. We're good.
That was a good one though.
Okay.
We're going for quality, not quantity.
Okay. Here's another one I picked out earlier.
Plus your reading skills. Let me just tell the listeners something. When we were in high school and you used to have to read out of the textbook, Jack used to spend a lot of time reading, and I did not. Clearly, I still do not. So if I was sitting next to Jack and it was time to read out of the textbook, I would just go like, anyway, so in the year 1868, they were, alrighty, Jack, your turn. And he would just start picking up where I left off because he had to read the next paragraph anyway, so he'd finish mine off and do most of his.
Sometimes I do 3 paragraphs. I don't give a damn.
Like, yeah, I'm going to take the person. It's the equivalent of being in prison and stealing off the person next to you's plate. Like, because you're just like, you're not eating quick enough.
You're not eating quick enough. No, if I was in prison, I'd definitely be stealing extra food. I'm a hungry boy.
Yeah, plus that gives you the sustenance to defeat the others.
That's right. That rule will keep you strong.
The food is money.
Food is money.
The hungry get hungrier and the full get fuller.
Absolutely. Okay. So here we go. Am I the a-hole for being a little late to a stranger's funeral? Okay, so here's his justifications. You ready for this one?
Good.
Just some backstory. I am 22 with a girlfriend, and I work 25 hours a week at a hotel.
It was her fault. I can see it already. He's going to blame the missus.
It's not even related to her.
Good.
He works 25 hours a week at a hotel, and my grandmother moved to the same state for the first time a couple years ago. So we're close, but not that close. Also, I love Apex Legends. I plan on becoming a streamer since my friends tell me that I have really good jokes and gameplay. Yeah, already this guy
subscribe to my Twitch, Marky Worthington Gaming. Okay, yeah, keep going.
And my grandma is a bit overweight and has some eye problems and asked me if I'd drive her to a friend's funeral that she met at church and stay around to keep her company.
I'm a good boy.
She said it wouldn't be too long. At first, I didn't want to do it because I didn't like giving up one of my few days off from work. Bitch, you only work 25 hours. The average work week is 40. Anyway, but I felt it was the right thing to do, so I went against my better judgment.
All right, fucking. What are you gonna do next, Moses? Part the fucking sea? Like,
Yeah, no, this guy's got Marty. Yeah. Martyr? What are they called? Martyr? Ones who sacrifice themselves for something.
Martyr?
Martyr. That's it.
Is that actually it? Did I get a
Yeah,
grammar?
you killed it.
The guy from the first fucking Reddit thing's jerking off to that, isn't he?
Yeah,
He fucking
he's
likes that grammar.
Yeah. Okay, so yesterday at dinner, my phone was vibrating so much I thought there must have been an emergency. But it's just my boys reminding me of the new Apex Legends season. Cool. For those unfamiliar, it's probably the highest skilled FPS out there. Ah, that's cringe. Yeah. It must have slipped my mind before the bummer funeral talk going around. Oh, your grandma's friend's dead. Fuck her.
Oh, what? This bitch is fucking interrupting my Apex Legends shit?
Apparently.
Fucking selfish.
So I got on and I played all night. My girlfriend kept calling me all night and interrupted my gaming focus, so I muted my phone. I hate this guy. I hate him. Anyways,
I hope someone kills your fucking character.
so much.
Apex Legends. Dude, imagine just being a thing and being like, my fucking gaming's getting all interrupted by all these distractions. My grandma that can't see properly needed my help. Fucking selfish bitch. Oh, this downer missus that wants my attention because I always play games. Fucking selfish bitch. My friend's grandma died. Fucking selfish bitch. All these things are in the way of me being an Apex legend. I don't think at this point his only chance is to become an Apex legend because he's not going to be an Apex human. Yep.
Okay, so I stayed up too late and forgot to turn my phone off mute. I wake up and realize I'm like 30 minutes behind. I call my grandma and answer. She's not answering the phone. So I get out of bed, get dressed, get some Dunkin' Donuts coffee to stay awake, and go to my grandma's. She's not home, so I go to the funeral to see if she's there. And apparently her friend called an Uber and is practically sobbing and giving me the silent treatment because she was late and she said she was so humiliated. But to be fair, the funeral started a bit late and she didn't miss anything. And she didn't even know anyone else, so I don't get how you can be humiliated, quotation marks.
Ugh.
So I get up mid-funeral and leave. I don't want to be disrespected at a stranger's funeral. I hate this guy.
I can't stand for this shit.
How dare you? I'm an Apex
I
Legend.
am a fucking level 400 paladin. And you're treating me like a level 16 wizard. I demand respect at this funeral.
Okay, so my grandma didn't even text me to say she was using an Uber, so I drove all around burning my gas, and for some reason my entire family is making me feel like the arsehole. I think my grandma could have been more understanding and maybe gave me more leniency, but she went straight to my parents and said talking to me like a man, and now everyone hates me. I was doing her a favor. I'm not obligated to do anything outside of excelling my careers. I feel bad that I was late, but sometimes uncontrollable things come up with that you can't help. What? Staying up all night playing video games was uncontrollable?
But also, why?
And why wouldn't you set an alarm?
So what was he? So he put it on silent, right?
Yeah,
So his idea of how he was going to wake up for the funeral was someone was going to
Someone else was going to wake him up.
call him or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, we've all been there, right? Like, we've all stayed up longer than we needed to doing something.
Yeah.
But if I've got commitments the next day, I will do it tired as fuck because I said I was going to do it. Like, I feel like there's a massive lack of responsibility on this person's part.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Also, he did blame the girlfriend.
Because he turned his phone off. Okay, you got me. You got it.
I fucking called it from the start. Like, somehow he made this her fault because she kept annoying him while he was trying to game. He silenced his phone, and now he reckons that whole thing wouldn't have happened if his phone wasn't on silence.
Family's much more important than games. And honestly, the excelling at my careers thing, you work 25 hours, dude. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And gaming when you haven't even started streaming isn't a fucking career.
Yeah. Also, like, he's never going to be in Fast and the Furious if he doesn't think family's that important.
Yeah, everyone knows family.
Yeah, family first.
Family's what it's all
Because
about.
family, yeah. But also, imagine making someone else's funeral about you.
I know,
essentially.
what a dick move. And then storming out in the middle of the funeral.
Wait, so I don't... So, the funeral was for the person that his grandma met at bingo or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
At church.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
And she wanted a lift and some emotional support. And the dude's like, oh, that's nice, fuck you. And then she's crying and he gets there.
Against his better judgment, he decided to do it. What a fucking asshole.
I know. Oh, no, it's such out of your way to help your grandma to a funeral. When she's, like, partially blind.
He also kind of put it on her as well. She's partially blind and a little overweight. Like, he had to add something in there that she can change.
Like,
Instead
being a little overweight isn't going to stop her from going to the funeral, you a-hole.
Yeah.
Or, like, driving or anything. And she's blind. That's why she couldn't drive.
Fuck. Yeah, I guess, well, if she tried to drive, he'd have to go to her funeral after that. See?
No, he wouldn't even go to that. He's too busy playing Apex with the boys.
Yeah. He's like, oh, my boys were messaging me. That's another thing, too. Dude, you haven't got boys. You've got people that tolerate you.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised.
First-person shooter game. Then there's so many games.
I honestly am surprised he even has a girlfriend with that attitude.
I don't think it will last. Either that or she's got really low self-esteem.
Yeah, which is probably also sad. I honestly think people that are like that usually have low self-esteem as well, and they're just overcompensating for it by being like too self-centered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, no, he's definitely the asshole.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Let's make a suggestion on what he should have done.
Okay, we should have done. Sure, play the games with the boys, but turn a fucking alarm on.
Yeah, literally the whole thing could have been prevented.
Yeah. And when you get there, say, oh, I'm so sorry, rather than, like, being all standoffish, like, oh, she's giving me the silent treatment, something. Yeah, she's sad her friend's dead. And also everyone's looking at her like, oh, she had to get an Uber.
Also, what are you just driving down the streets looking for grandma? Like, dude, it's not like it was a lost child. She was either at home or already went to the funeral.
Yeah.
Grandma's just gone, grandma probably doesn't have much money, right?
No.
And she's like, well, I prefer to spend my money on this very little amount of money I have on an Uber versus not go at all.
Her friend had to call an Uber.
Oh, okay.
Grandma didn't even have money for an Uber.
Yeah.
That makes it even sadder. And this dude just couldn't take one day out of his time. He acts like he works so hard. 25 hours, man. That's not even a full working week.
I've done that in one day. No, just joking.
I was giving you this look like, no, yeah.
No, I have, man.
The maths don't check out.
Daylight saving, bro.
Oh, of course. How could I forget the daylight savings transition? Okay. Technically, theoretically, it's possible.
Yeah, but then the next year I was a slacker. I only did 23 hours. So...
Yeah, no, I'm not with this guy.
Yeah, no, so my suggestion is pretty much the same as yours. Dude, I'm a psycho. I'll still operate on no sleep.
Yeah.
Some people can't do that. I respect that. But yeah, that's how I would have done it.
Yeah, if he's not good at operating on no sleep, don't play games all night.
Set boundaries and fucking stick to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if we don't have our word, we have nothing.
Family. Fast and the Furious. Fucking logo just appears. Yeah.
No, but like, yeah.
Yeah, no.
When you make a promise, you stick to it. Otherwise,
even if it's
who are
slightly
you? Nobody.
inconvenient, that's my biggest thing. Like,
Yeah.
if I say I'm going to do something, I fucking do it.
you do it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with that, man. I
Okay.
reckon that was a good episode. Cheers for being on the show, and
Thank you for
thanks
having
everyone
me.
for listening. It's good to
And
have
for
Jack
watching.
back.
Hey, YouTube.
Hey, not Jack's grandma, but everyone else because she's not listening anymore. All right, thanks everyone, and catch you next time.
See you
Cheers.
next time. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Don't buy me a drink. Just name names. Yeah, right. Big Tony. You'll get fucking thrown out.
The strip club with your floppy disk.
Yeah, all day.
Make people feel ashamed for shit all day.
Don't blow
Turn it
it.
into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking we're here
Keep it simple. Count your money.
that they're not proud of. Just give me $10.
Welcome to episode, I don't know, Jack Part 4. Hell yeah.
That's the important thing, right?
Yeah, Jack's back.